Situational is an event that occurs directly and contradicts the expectations of the audience. In the story The Interlopers by Saki, two families that are enemies fighting over a piece of land met in a forest. After a few days they trusted each other for their life, but instead the wolves ate them. The Interlopers is a good example of situational irony because the reader thinks the two enemies will be friends, but instead the wolves eat them. So Pi, look, you definitely got the idea on some of these sentences in this opening paragraph. Um, First of all, your first sentence is right on. Situational irony is an event that occurs directly and contradicts the expectations of the audience. Some wording issues in there. A couple of words seem kind of mixed around. Also, anytime you're saying a, but the next word begins in a vowel like a, e, I, o, u, then what you want is an, right? That's what you're looking for. So, situational irony is an event that occurs directly and contradicts the expectations of the audience. In the story Interlopers by Saki, two families that are enemies fighting over a piece of land met in a forest. After a few days they trusted each other with their lives, but instead the wolves ate them. Now, is it the families that meet in the forest? I don't think so. It's the heads of each family, right? So you want to be specific. You want to make sure that you're saying what you mean to be saying. And then the last thing is you don't really want to give away the part about the wolves eating them yet, because you're going to want to save that for your thesis statement. You're going to mention that. So what you should do is talk about how the heads of these two families meet each other in the forest, and after a life-threatening situation, they begin to trust each other and they become friends. Right? That's what belongs in this summary section that I'm highlighting right now. The Interlopers is a good example of situational irony because the reader thinks the two enemies will be friends, but instead the wolves eat them. Well, that's not really the expectation, actually. I mean, we know that they're going to be friends because we watch them become friends. The expectation that we have is that they are going to survive because of their friendship, right? That their friendship will lead them to cooperate, which will help them to survive. But ironically, the fact that they're cooperating, the fact that they're calling for help together, the sound of their combined voices attracts wolves instead, right? And that's what's ironic. So you need to fix your expectation section. Definitely. Hang on, let me find the correct way to do this here. So you need to fix your expectation to match what I've said. The Interlopers is a good example of situational irony because we expect the cooperation of the newly formed friends to bring about their survival. Good, so that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? That should be up here. And instead, down here, you should be talking about what occurs in the story just before the quote that you're going to use. And in this case, this quote, what happens in the story is that the men caught under a tree resolve their differences and call for help together. And then when one sees figures approaching, the text says, and then you give this quote, right? But you need to make sure that you have this, the text says, because you just can't really drop a quote without it. And then the last bit that I have for you here is that this is a short enough quote that you can actually put it in this same paragraph, and it would just be fine. Situational is an event that occurs directly contradicts. Right. So that's what you have before. Again, you need to make sure that you have the entire term in there whenever you mention it. Situational irony. All right. So Pi, you've got a little bit of work to do here, man. I'm not gonna lie, but it's looking like it's heading in the right direction. So I would say keep on what you're doing. Please make sure that you get a chance to address my comments as soon as you can. And other than that, you should be good to go for your final draft to make the comments and especially to continue writing because we're missing a couple of sentences on the end here. All right, thanks for your effort on this so far, Pi. Appreciate it, and look forward to reading the final draft.